drinking occasionally, let's say one beer here and there, or one drink here and there, or one shot from time to time, it's okay. But especially for us drummers, it has impact in our joints and the elasticity of our muscles and tendons, which has impact in our performance. Eventually, you will reach a barrier that you will not be able to overcome if you drink a lot. Also, the time feeling sensation gets blurry, so your consistency flies away, and many things more to say. Pretty much alcohol for us, it's pretty much like drugs as well. We are low volume, low profile athletes. We use our muscles to do things. Even if we invoke the mechanics of physics on the drumstick or the pedals, even on that, our muscles are moving, and you need to be sensitive in order to detect the slightest change in the behavior.
That's so amazing, man. And kind of miss the guy every day too. I was gonna say, I think my dad saw him live when he was with Rainbow way back in the day, and it was always funny because there was a story that a friend of my uncle, who also saw Dio live when he was with Rainbow, he took this really amazing picture, and I really wish we could find it at some point, but it's lost somewhere in one of the archives, or probably one of the film rolls they used to have, since that's how they used to roll back then.
Yeah.
So I did actually read up. Yeah, he was Bulgarian and from that town, and I guess it was good to see how he helped out too, especially seeing his personality and everything too. Yeah.
Dio, as a person, was an Italian guy who has born in United States, from Italian parents.
So,
Ronnie James Batavona was his real name. Bulgaria right now is doing very well as about its economy. Just because the Bulgaria is out of the Eurozone, so whatever I find here in Greece costing, let's say, €2, it costs there 2 leva, their currency. But €1 is approximately 2 leva, so it's half the price from here. So if you go for a tourism or for whatever you go, things are way cheaper than here, and they attract tourists and also from other countries around that have expensive prices. The gas, let's say, here has approximately €2 per liter, and in there it has approximately €1 per liter. So even if you decide to go and full up your tank there, you have benefit. And the borders from my village are very close, 70 kilometers or so.
that's good to hear about Bulgaria. I would like to get there one of these days, but I don't really hear, because I normally use like travel sort of guides or those travel agencies that will help set everything up for you, so you're able to go and have the time of your life, as they would say too. But they don't do a whole lot of trips out of Bulgaria, so I'm not sure what it's like, or like you don't hear too much about it. So I feel bad, and it's a good thing seeing how Ronnie could go and help out.
Good sea. Their seaside is in Black Sea. But the mountains are amazing. If you are on the mountain guy, then you would love that. Especially if you are a bike guy,
Like you.
motorcycle man. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it must be beautiful there too. So, thanks so much to Ronnie James Dio. And funny enough, a good friend of mine, Ryan Thompson, who's out of Scotland, he reached out to me to want to do a Hammerfall collaboration together. And funny enough, I actually saw Hammerfall did a cover of Man on the Silver Mountain from when Dio was with Rainbow. So I asked him, like, hey, you want to do that on Ronnie James, release that on Ronnie James Dio's birthday, which is July 10th, which happens to be a Monday. So, what do you know? It happened to be a good coincidence. So,
I wish I could see Rainbow with Dio live, but at that time I was away to Smoland. There were no rock concerts in Greece at that time. Things were in Stone Age. We had one event with Rory Gallagher. That event, riot police raided inside the the event with whatever followed up. You can pretty much imagine. And that live event never was completed. While the legend was playing The Moonchild, that song never finished up.
jeez, that must have been terrible. Like I said, did they start doing more live shows in the 80s, or was it not till the 90s when they
Yeah,
started?
in the 80s. In the 80s started the live shows. On 1986, it was my first live. I saw Saxon. I traveled from Alexandroupoli to Athens, let's say 900 kilometers by train to see Saxon. Afterwards, many groups have came. Motorhead, Iron Maiden, Blue Oyster Cult, Pink Floyd. I was the one that saw them at that time. And I imagine one of the greatest sounding events in my life. It was so good experience seeing them. And then on 90s, okay, we were on schedule pretty much like all the European countries. Every band that was coming in Europe had a booking in Athens.
It's a party at Athens during those times, yeah.
Yeah.
I do have to ask, how is Saxon? I guess were they always pretty good live? I never seen them. I heard a couple songs from them. Really.
Saxon are pretty good live. Great musicians, great persons. I've done sound for them in the Rockwave Festival of 2006. Yeah. They were great, very collaborative. They did. Most of the bands are not asking way too much from the sound engineer. They just asking for the stage sound engineer things to hear while they play. They leave the field open for the front of house sound engineer to do its magic. And they're happy with that.
Sometimes all you really can do is keep it simple.
Okay, when you find a gap, meet us on the backstage for a beer or something like that.
Yeah, keep it entertained with the beer, that's for sure. So yeah.
Yeah, they are next door persons.
That's really great to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna say, I think we gotta show them like a lot of pictures. I don't know. Did you take a lot of pictures when you were a studio engineer at the time?
Nope, I don't have any pictures.
Oh,
At that time, mobiles, only the way too expensive ones had cameras, and I was always busy behind something else, so took no pictures at all.
I was gonna say, oh man, that would have been so awesome. Getting pictures up close. Saxon, Dio, Dream Theater, and all those groups. It's almost like these. You needed those iPhones at the time. So unfortunately, I don't know when they came to Greece or.
The iPhones were there, but you need to sell a kidney to buy an iPhone.
Darn
Due to
economics.
customs.
Due to customs.
And having such a phone was a good way to keep pictures of whatever you want. Otherwise, holding up a camera, it was way too occupying. You need to remember where you left the camera. If you forget it at some place, the camera maybe will be stolen, etc., etc. You don't at those festivals. You trust nobody unless everybody is out and only the crew, the band members, and the sound engineers are there. Otherwise, trust nobody.
Fair enough. Yeah, that I can imagine somebody out of that crowd right there wanted to actually steal something too. So it's a great story you had right there, and you did many great wonders there, Stamatis. It's good to have you along here, mate. All right. I don't know if you were going to say something, but that's why I paused right there. But all right, let's get into some of the fun questions here. These were ones we didn't have at the time, but we're at least making up for it right now. So
okay.
So you did answer the first one. That was actually part of one of your Q&As, which was your favorite alcoholic drink. And I don't know if I asked you your favorite non-alcoholic drink, by the way. Did I ask that one?
As about the alcohol, I used to drink a lot when I was in my 20s, 30s, let's say. But when I started practicing Aikido, I discovered that I was no longer able to handle that amount of alcohol. A big, let's say, half-liter beer. Right now, I'm not able to finish that bottle off. And I also decided not to sleep for burn the alcohol, but enjoy the sleep time. So I'm mostly out of alcohol. Only on rare occasions I drink.
So you got moderation levels, not entirely sober, but you're at least at moderate levels, as they would say.
Yeah.
That's good to hear, yeah. Because you definitely hear too many of those stories where people abuse the alcohol, and it ruins people's lives, to be honest. So at least drink responsibly, as they'd say in the commercials. So
drinking occasionally, let's say one beer here and there, or one drink here and there, or one shot from time to time, it's okay. But especially for us drummers, it has impact in our joints and the elasticity of our muscles and tendons, which has impact in our performance. Eventually, you will reach a barrier that you will not be able to overcome if you drink a lot. Also, the time feeling sensation gets blurry, so your consistency flies away, and many things more to say. Pretty much alcohol for us, it's pretty much like drugs as well. We are low volume, low profile athletes. We use our muscles to do things. Even if we invoke the mechanics of physics on the drumstick or the pedals. Even on that, our muscles are moving, and you need to be sensitive in order to detect the slightest change in the behavior, to adapt. If that happens, if that is missing, then the consistency goes away. So simple. If the consistency goes away, then okay, you will end up playing in venues that you will play only for the chairs. You will pay the the hall for hosting you.
Yeah, I could say why. Yeah, too. It's it's an unfortunate thing too, because you at least want to enjoy a good drink every now and again. But unfortunately, when you start abusing it, let alone like the hard alcohol, it does start to weigh on you too. So it's good to see you pull through it, bud. All right. And did you say what your favorite non-alcoholic drink was?
Yeah, we have a local company called Green, which releases something similar to Coca-Cola or to Sprite or to Fanta, but are based only on plant things, biological, and they don't use sugar at all. I'm not doing that of, let's say, expressing myself as an ecologist or being a vegan or a vegetarian, but I tried it once and it tastes really good, so I got stuck on there. So simple. Okay, I don't either say that I'm not an ecologist and let's say fuck the planet or something similar like that. No, I love nature. If I was such a person, I would live in a city full of concrete. I want to be in touch with the nature, but the extremism always does bad things. If you are polarized on something, especially those vegans that try to, let's say, convince you that you are very wrong on eating meat and not plant-based food. Okay, you like it, do it. Don't bother me with that. I respect you. I respect your choices. Okay, you have to respect mine as well.
Don't try to convert me into whatever it is you are, in a certain way, how they live their life in a certain way. I like my life the way it is. Just let me live it out.
Exactly that. Especially each one of us has its own personality. Don't try to change it. Accept it as it is. Statistically, you won't be liked from everybody. The vast majority will drop away from you. That's statistically proven. Okay. And you will have a small portion of people who will love you. You will act and you will live for them. Even for the music. Nobody has the same taste as each one of us has its own personality. Is a unique living being.
Amen. I do have to say that was the first time I actually heard about Green. Are they just strictly in Greece, or they tried to expand globally?
Not sure about that. For example, I cannot find Green in Bulgaria. Yeah.
Okay.
But I can ask them more about that. I might find an occasion to visit their factory. Maybe for an endorsement, why not?
I guess you start decking out in green next. You're gonna be like dressing like it's St. Patty's Day, to be honest.
Yeah. Probably they may like to get exposed. So far, they compete directly with Coca-Cola, as about the supermarkets.
Yep.
As I see in the supermarkets, they occupy exactly the same rack space. The most popular products, that's a marketing technique. They used to occupy the vast majority of the rack space of a kind of product. If you see two things that are competing each other and they occupy the same rack space, it means that they're both very high. Okay, Coca-Cola, it's something that it's imported and it's worldwide. So it's accepted to be, let's say, the top. But our local competing with that Colossus means something.
Take it on the giants, as they would say, of the marketing space. All right. Well, wish you best of luck going forward, because when you start competing with Coca-Cola, they don't tend to like that. So I guess good luck to them. So you're in for a long one, that's for sure. So, all right. So this next two actually deal with your drum covers, actually. So I guess which one would you consider has been your favorite that you've done so far?
My favorite. It's already the longest, and not it's because of being the longest, but those two Dream Theater songs are coming exactly out of my heart, describing myself as a personality, as everything. Home and the Dance of Eternity. That one, and after that the instrumental, again from Dream Theater. Instrumentally was their hardest song to play from the Portnoy era, as they have took pieces from here and there from their songs, and all of them were technical.
Good choices, I have to admit. I was trying to remember the one I did actually see. It was either Dance of Eternity or I don't know if I did see it. I thought you did Dance of Eternity and Home as like separate videos, and then you just put them all together, but I wasn't sure. But
yeah, the instrumental. Actually, if you take it from the beginning, it starts like the Dance of Eternity.
Okay.
And ends up pretty much like the Dance of Eternity. But let's say the very ending reminds me the Hell's Kitchen from Fallen to Infinity.
Oh, okay. I keep thinking of Hell's Kitchen with like Gordon Ramsay, that sort of thing, so that's why I had to tend to laugh at it too. So, all right. I do have to ask, do you know the drummer Travis Orbit by any chance?
Nope.
He's actually played in a couple of metal groups, actually. He was with Sky Yates Airplane, Periphery, and Darkest Hour, to name a couple off the top of my head. I know he's done a whole lot of session work with other groups as well. But he, believe it or not, he actually met and had a lesson with Mike Mangini when Mangini was a drum teacher at the time. And
I met Mangini when I was for my conservatory case in Boston, in the mother of all Berkeley branches, the central, let's say the Temple of Music. And I met him. Okay. Oh, okay, he's ambidextrous, pretty much like me. Okay, yeah. At a break, we had a very short conversation without exchanging too many words, for 5 or 10 minutes or so.
You know, I was actually tempted to ask Travis for the email, which I'm probably gonna have to at some point. But I am taking a little bit of a break near the end of this month too, so I think I'll pick up on that and see if we can get Mangini on here and just talk about it as well. That would be interesting. So that's pretty cool. You also got to meet him as well. So even though it was a little short and brief, and I don't know, Temple. Can we say it's the pantheon of music?
Yeah, Mangini, as I read about his music education, he did pretty much like me. I did it because here in Greece we didn't have any degree about drumming. The drumming was included in the percussion of the symphonic orchestra. So when I went to the conservatory back in the 90s, for classic orchestra percussion, pretty much I learned how to play timpani, how to play marimba, vibraphone, xylophone, etc., etc. All of those stuff that are included there. And the way that he sets up his drum set pretty much reminds me the way that timpani are arranged. You have 5 or 7 or 3, but are pretty much deployed in the same way that he has his toms.
Sorry, you're still going there, but that's pretty interesting. I actually didn't know that, and actually, you know what? I gotta see some more pictures of Mangini. I've heard the music, and I know you said you were gonna not revisit, but you were gonna visit some of Mangini's works, and that's why I put The Alien, and that's why, because you said it was a well-known song too, and that was one I heard a good bit. So
The Alien is in my list, but I will just reveal the name of the song. The Enemy Inside.
The Enemy Inside. Okay.
Is one of their toughest with Mangini. Another one that is very tough to play is the Pale Blue Dot.
These from their recent albums, or these ones they've...
From the recent. Distance Over Time.
Okay. Trying to make sure I haven't really kept track of their discography.
The previous album before the View of the Top of the World. Before the last one.
Okay.
One with a white hand outside.
Okay.
White robotic hand.
Okay, I was trying to make sure I remember everything too. There's a whole lot to take in, so forgive me if I don't know which ones you're talking about. So
no worries.
All right. So you don't seem like the one who would give up on any sort of song, but I guess, was there ever a time where a song was too tough for you to play? Did you give up, or did you come back after a while and finish?
I always had the logic that if somebody can play it, I can play it too. In a matter of time, if I dedicate myself to that, I will play it. No matter of what. Initially, my first, let's say, Scotch shower with cold water when about to play was with Rosanna of Toto back in 1990, the summer. It took me 6 months to get it done. It was way too tough for me at that time, but I never give up. I was always stubborn. He plays it. Yes, I can play it too. He's a human being pretty much like me. I will give up if I see, let's say, a drummer with 3 hands doing things that, okay, I have only 2, and I cannot translate those things into 2 hand playing. But he has 2 hands, I have 2 hands. He has 10 fingers, I have 10 fingers. Then the only difference is the amount of time that he devoted to reach up at that level. So it's a matter of time to me to reach up there as well.
It's almost like anything you could do, I could do better.
So
yeah.
No give ups. No give ups.
Like I said, you're the most experienced drummer I know in this whole community too. So I wouldn't expect anything different from you. That's for sure. So, all right. And the last one, oh, actually no, we were right there. I guess actually no, here it is. What is currently your favorite song?
Recently, as the black anniversary of Warlords founding member Bill Tsamis, that before a couple of years he passed away. At this season, I always got stuck with some Warlord songs. That song is called War in Heaven, and I plan to do it as a tribute for him. I gave it a promise that every year I will release on that as a memorial one Warlord song. Till I do all the Warlord songs. They don't have way too big discography, 2 or 3 albums so far. And with Bill, we used to be friends. I still have him in my friend list in Facebook. We used to exchange emails. I met him once in Greece, a couple or 3 years before their live, on 2013. Again, I met him right after the show in Greece.
So you got an extensive friend list, that's for sure, and especially with all the people you know too.
Yeah.
I have to say, you've been blessed, that's for sure. So I wish I got the chance to meet those people too and be able to stay in touch with them as well. I do have to ask, do you have a dog or is that a cat back there? Because I think
it's my German Shepherd.
Let's say he was moving all over the place. He's making a little bit of a ruckus over there.
I have him since 2017. He's 6 years old, and I have him pretty much like being my son.
That's pretty sweet. German Shepherds are pretty cool, but I think was it a little hard to train them too, or are they pretty easy once they start getting the hang of it?
The German Shepherds are easy to go dogs. Their intelligence is pretty high, and they understand pretty much everything you speak. They get into some, let's say, online connection with you. Something like they read your thought, your mind. Not sure what happens with them, but they're very easy to go and very human connected dogs.
I actually do have one. She's a Catahoula dog, but she's a lot smaller, even though she begs a lot for when we're eating dinner and that sort of thing, and every now and again she might dig a hole in the yard, try to get some moles and stuff like that, so...
The only bad moments with him was when he attacked to the chicken birds.
Oh God!
Those dogs have two problems. The one is that when they smell chicken, they want to eat it. Every dog, its instincts tells it that the chicken meat is at high level in their food chain, but those dogs are you cannot heal that. Once it attacks and eats a chicken bird, then you have to be very careful with it, because it will find its way to get in and do a massacre.
Oh God! Let's say it's still got the wolf blood in him.
Last time he attacked, we had 6 or 7 birds off at once. The other thing that those dogs have are cat killers. They kill cats with a blink of an eye.
So I guess it means don't have any stray or feral cats coming around your neck of the woods, do they?
And as dogs, they have the strongest jaw in the dog species, right below the wolf levels. They have approximately 450 kilograms per square centimeter strength, and the wolf has the tremendous amount of 750.
As I chase, you're not making me feel any good, but at least you got good guard dog on you, so you don't have to worry about any robberies coming to your house, that's for sure.
No. I have the greatest alarm system on earth. My dog.
Yep, that's pretty cool. Alright, so Stamatis, we've kind of reached the end of my podcast right here. We breezed through all the questions and also at least got caught up with some of the ones I missed on our last one too, I guess. Did you have any final words or any shouts you want to say?
Since last time, some things have changed. I took, let's say, 2 endorsements. One is for my drumsticks. Right now I have my own signature drumstick. The other one was that I switched from Sonos to Tama. I took an endorsement from there as well. And other than that, let's keep some things for the part 3.
Yeah, actually, I did remember seeing the little logo. That's what you always use on your. I guess you use it on all your videos, even your drum covers and Q&As.
Yeah. Yeah. I changed my logo as well.
Oh yeah, it's now more of the fist and the sticks and everything. Yeah, so that's pretty sweet. All right, it's good to see you got that too. And guess you and the wife and living large, everything's good in your neck of the woods.
I wish you pretty much the same, and see you on the part 3 of our interview in the near future.
I would say this is part 2, so you don't have to worry about, well, maybe part 3 at some point, but we'll have to see. At some point, I think I'm almost out of questions, to be honest, even though we might have to dig into more.
Yeah.
Your past
Let the time pass, and the agony build up for the part 3.
All right, sounds good. All right, Stamatis, I wish you all the best luck going forward, and whenever we get to part 3, eventually. But I'll make sure I keep you in my prayers too. And thank you for all the blessings you've done and all the works you've done as well too. So, also, folks, stay tuned for our Judas Priest collab at some point in the near future too. So.
Yeah, definitely.
All right.
Bye, everybody.
All right, stay safe. Stay tuned, y'all.